Welcome to episode 23 of the Action Toon Bros.
Wow, 23 episodes. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's like almost at half of a year.
Right, yeah.
But, well, before we start this episode, this is Young Justice Season 3, episodes 6 through 9.
Right, and for those of you who don't know, and those of you who are just tuning in, this is Ben Sturgeon.
And this is Matthew Lewis. Well, first of all, I have some corrections because, of course, starting a new series, I have to correct myself on a bunch of dumb notes. First thing, Brion Markov is Geoforce. Red Star is a different DC superhero. I got mixed up.
Yeah. When we found that out, which we're gonna get to that, but when we found that out, it's just like, oh, I didn't even think. No, Matt was wrong.
No. Red Star. I think Red Star. Either I don't think it's Geoforce, but appears in the final season of the original Teen Titans animated show. I think he's like vaguely Eastern European, like Markovia. So I thought that.
I don't remember Red Star. Yeah. The only Red I remember from Teen Titans, at least, was when Robin was Red X.
Yeah. All right, correction number 2, or well, I guess 2 and 3, because I'll connect them. Not the All-Father is the leader of New Genesis. It's the High Father.
Yeah.
I know. But also Calabac. I kept saying Calaban.
Calabac.
Yeah, Calabac. I forgot. And let's see. Oh yeah, I said Stephanie Brown was a Batgirl. She's actually a Robin who becomes Spoiler.
Like the female Robin?
Yeah, no, she's one of the 2 female Robins, but she's the blonde. She's Spoiler in this show, but she was a female Robin, not a Batgirl.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And another one, Greg Sipes is the voice of Beast Boy. For years, like even since way back in the original Teen Titans, I called him Greg Cripes, because I thought that was his name. I thought it read like that. But it's Sipes. Yeah, I thought it was an R in there. It's just Sipes. But yeah, Greg Sipes follows us on Twitter and stuff, and that's great. But yeah, I just wanted to get those corrections because, of course, new series, I don't have all my facts 100% straight, and I don't want to look like a dum-dum.
Greg, if you're listening to this, please don't unfollow him.
Yeah, please don't unfollow. We barely have Twitter followers. We need this.
Anyway.
Yep. Now back to the actual episode? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that all the
all my corrections on my part. Yeah, hopefully we'll have to do another one.
I was going to say, because when it comes to that kind of information, that's all you. I don't know anything about this stuff. So I believe we can start now with episode 6.
6?
Yes, 6.
Rescue Ops?
Yep, Rescue Op. We start this off in
the greater Bialian capital of Alcahuia.
Is that say that again?
Alcahuia? Yeah.
Yeah, I can never say it.
It's the capital of Bialia. We see a mysterious big Bialian man coming out of a club with the good goggles on.
with those goggles on.
Yeah, he stumbles. Yeah.
Happily like, yeah.
He's like playing the Pokemon Go like monkey game.
And that's right, because he's got the good things on.
Yeah.
But then Spider-Man comes. Black Spider.
Well, I can see how you make that mistake because he's voiced by Josh Keaton, who voices Spider-Man in the Spectacular Spider-Man series.
Seriously?
Yeah, one of my favorite.
I did not.
And Spectacular Spider-Man is one of my favorite animated Spider-Man series.
Is that the newer one?
It's it's before the current Disney one. It was an older show. But yeah, it was really, really good.
But yeah, and also he's literally Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's acting like Spider-Man, of course. But he says he's from the League of Shadows.
Well, wait. Seriously?
Yeah, and he said the man's name. He says, "Do you know a guy named Jakar Marlowe? He got a funny Spidey gags from Black Spider."
Right, and then, of course the guy's like, "I don't know anything," and then starts to run away.
Yeah, and of course he's like, "Oh, come on, I need better quips," and he's like chases after him, Spider-Man style. He thinks he evades him. He's like, "Oh, thank goodness, I finally got away from him."
And then for some reason, out of nowhere, there's a giant rock, and it falls on him.
Yep,
like, we're talking about, like, Mountie Python kind of boulder.
Yeah, a massive boulder just crushes him, immediately killing him. And then Black Spider's like, "Hey, man, thanks." Looking up to somebody up in the shadows, and we see a mysterious figure with, like, red
mysterious
eyes.
Figure, just with goggles and everything. And
it calls him Kid, too, so we know it's a young person.
It calls him Kid, too. There's another hint. But I don't think we actually see any
No, we barely see a silhouette.
Yeah.
And that's when we cut to intro.
Yep, cut to the intro.
And this is when we finally see Barbara Gordon is in the wheelchair, and she is Oracle in this series. So we assume that the Killing Joke events have happened, possibly. She's also playing the good goggles.
Yep, she's got the good goggles on, and
gets snuck up on.
Gets snuck up on by not really a spoiler, her boyfriend Dick.
Yeah, Dick flips Dick over her shoulder because she's still not distracted even though playing, so she still has her Batgirl skills. Don't worry, everybody.
Oh yeah, because she's just like, "Are you serious right now? You trying to sneak up?"
Yeah, and then start making out all over the place.
They have a cute moment.
Yeah, it's very cute, but they're interrupted by a signal, and she's like, "Oh, it's a laptop. I wonder what this is."
Yep. And then I believe this is when we cut back to Happy Harbor.
Yep, Brion and Halo are walking around, and they're just like, being like, "Hey, we're hungry." She is hungry for the first time.
She gets hungry. She's like, "Wait, Artemis feeds me well, but my stomach is making a weird noise. And Brion's just like, okay, here. Picks an apple from a tree and is like, have this. It's delicious. Mm-hmm. And Halo, literally eats the apple and, freaks out at how amazing it is.
Yeah, it's just grabbing apples.
This is amazing!
Yeah, this is when the team from the new Genesis mission last week comes. We see Forager and McGann, and I think is
Artemis.
Artemis Superboy with them, or is Artemis?
I think it's just Artemis.
Yeah, he's like, Forager doesn't know how Forager will speak the Earth language, and she's like, oh, I put it in your brain, don't worry about it.
Yep, because that's what she does. And then of course Halo's like, hey, Forager,
yeah,
have you tried the apples?
Yeah,
and even Forager eats them. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, and this is when we learn that the reason that Forager says everyone's proper names all the time is because they don't use pronouns because the weird bug's ambiguous gender, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So that's right, because Forager's never a he or a she. He's just always Forager.
Always says Forager every time. Halo knows a ton of New Genesis information and Apocalypse, she hints at, because she's like, New Genesis is one of new origin planets for the new guys. She goes off, rattles a bunch of facts about them.
Out of left field. Yeah. And everyone's looking at her like, I'm sorry?
And this is when Brion's freaking out, oh my god, it's an alien, I can't believe I can see a real alien. And then he's
in a good way. He's not like, oh no, it's an alien.
Yeah, he's happy about it.
Oh, wow.
And then McGann's like, I'm from Mars and Connor's Kryptonian. He's like, yeah, but this is a real alien.
But this is a real alien, not one who's ever lived on Earth.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, what are you supposed to do with him now? This is insane. I'm like, oh, I know. Hello, Megan.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Artemis.
We finally get one after so long. We finally get a hello, Megan.
Yeah, hello, Megan. It's Artemis who says it, I believe, at this time. The bioship is where they should stay. We see it's turn into a car, turns into a big RV.
Yeah, it turns into one of those big SUV kind of vans that in the 60s people would use, and it's very roomy and very nice inside. Yeah,
but when it transforms, it freaks out Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, and he spills coffee all over himself.
Yep, he's like, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, this is when he calls Dr. Chase, right?
Yes, he calls Dr. Chase and, asking about his sister, Tara.
Yep, and Brion's very dismissive. He's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, I don't talk to you. He's very upset, and we find out that the uncle shipped Tara off when after experimenting with her powers, and she did give her powers, and it's like, oh, what's going to go on? This is when we discuss the whole, your family has a Geoforce-like powers, all of them, so and they didn't discuss the BLE. Oh yeah, Dick arrives.
Yep.
And then they discuss...
and all of a sudden some Dick arrives.
Yeah, some Dick. But also, this is when he's still leaving Oracle out of the information. He's like, somebody, the information was found out. He's still not telling anybody about Oracle.
Yep.
They mention Jakar, and they mention how he died, and they say it could be the same thing. We don't know yet.
But... the big important thing that he makes sure Brion knows is that it was done by the League of Shadows. And of course,
possibly using a control device.
Yep, probably using a control device. And do they also mention the giant rock?
Yeah, they mentioned that he was killed by a rock, and then Jay says, given your family's powers, it could possibly
be. Yeah, it could possibly be. And then they're like, okay, so Brion is like... all up on
let's go.
League of Showers.
League of Showers.
Oh my god. League of Shadows. Let's go. Let's do it. And Dick's like, whoa. Chill.
Yeah.
Chill, buddy. And Brion, he's like we mentioned last week, he's a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
So no, he doesn't chill.
Yeah, and also he asks where they are, and he says Infinity Island, but Ra's al Ghul is an insanely powerful dude, and it'd be terrible for us to go up against him. Mm-hmm. Brion's like, no, come on, we gotta do this. Like, come on, team, just wait in the bioship.
Wait in the bioship, and they're like, okay, fine. When everyone leaves, Brion's like, okay, so who's going to join me? And Forager and Halo are like, we are.
Yeah, but they got a call, or when they go into the ship, it's Forager, Brion, and Halo go into the ship.
Yep.
Immediately, Forager's all over bioship and knows it's a girl for some reason.
One of my favorite jokes in this episode is just like, she is wonderful. How do you know bioship's a girl? Is it not obvious?
Yeah, and then...
they do the same thing with the super cycle.
Yeah, afterwards. This is when Brion goes in, he calls Jason, says, you are certain that this is probably Tara, right? Like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to go... And they're like, oh, well, how are we going to do that? And they're like, oh, we'll take the super cycle. It listens to Halo, because we don't know why.
Right. And then Halo's just like, she's beautiful. Forager's just like, how do you know it's a girl? She's like, isn't it obvious?
Wolf doesn't do anything to stop them, and they just get in the thing and fly off.
And that's an ongoing thing. Wolf will be like, alert for a little bit, and then just go right back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Inside the house, Oracle calls Dick and tells them how Halo's real information about her being Gabriel Dow and from Korok. Mm-hmm. This is when the team's inside, and the team's like, "Oh, we gotta tell them." And this is when they realize, "Oh, the kids were all gone."
Well, they're gone, and of course, Dick being part of the Bat family, he immediately deduces where they're going.
They're going to go to Infinity Island, which we cut to the kids flying to Infinity Island.
Yes, we do. And as they're flying there, they land on Infinity Island, where they see a meditating sensei.
Oh, before our meditating sensei, this is when Halo comes up with her name, Violet, that she needs while she's not fighting. Because she still doesn't have a name for herself.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we get to that later.
Mm-hmm. And then they come across. This is when they come across the meditating sensei called Sensei.
No, I was literally just saying Sensei as his name.
Yeah, that's his name.
He's not really a sensei.
He was technically. He says he trains the ninjas in a second.
Oh, that's true. Which, by the way. He in I think it was first season when we first saw him one episode. Mm-hmm. I literally had to look him up because I'm like, that can't be Ra's al Ghul because Ra's al Ghul is a lot different, and I was right. It wasn't.
Later in that episode, real Ra's does pop up,
and of course, Brion's like, "Where's my sister?" And Sensei's like, "I am meditating in my Zen garden. Go away." And Brion's like, "No, we know you have her." And he's like, "Look. If you don't want to make yourself look like a fool, get out while you still can."
It's a very funny 80s line from all those dumb action movies like, "Where are your ninjas? We heard this is a ninja island." Ninjas. And he's like, "I don't need ninjas. I train them all."
Yep. And then that's when his patience runs out and he starts fighting them.
Yep, but we cut back to the original team, Dick, Artemis, Connor, and McGann on the bio ship. And this is when Dick's really pissed about it, but then they remind him, "Dick, we did this 100 times in season 1.
Yeah, right. And then he's just like, "You're right, but I'm still upset. I get it now."
Yeah, and this is when back on the island, they immediately start trying to fight Sensei. Sensei easily beats them all up.
Dude, one of my favorite Sensei lines is, as they're fighting, the hot coals and stuff hit the floor, and he just walks as if it's nothing. And they're like, "Doesn't that hurt? Pain is an illusion." I'm like, ooh.
I love it. He grabs Forager when he's rolling and just tosses him into Halo. Yeah. He's doing a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And this is when, Brion just starts going crazy, and he's just like, all right. He calls in Ubu, a mysterious red ninja who I only deduced the identity of the second watch through.
Yep.
And, they pop up. Ubu has Apocalypse tech. The red ninja just immediately starts taking them out, and they take out the team and capture them all.
Yep. And then,
Sensei grabs Halo.
Right.
And breaks her neck, killing her.
Breaks her neck and kills her again.
Yeah, again, of course. I have a comment about that at the end of the episode because it's a running thing that I don't like in other shows.
Uh-huh.
But they put him in the prison.
They put him in prison, and of course Sensei's like, "Let this be a reminder of what happens when you mess with us." Throws the dead Halo, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then of course, as that's happening, Halo revives with the violet aura.
Yeah, and this is when Forager offhand asks, "Is Halo a new god?" And I was just like, maybe.
Yeah, right there, because she knows
Apocalypse and New Genesis.
Yep, and she knows the stuff about New Genesis.
Yep.
She knows the Super Cycle, which is New Genesis tech, and right there she can revive and stuff like that. So that's I'm theorizing because I don't know Halo at all.
Oh, you don't know the deal yet?
Not yet. Yes,
I deduced what it was.
But anyway, as this is happening, you see a camera, and we're seeing Ra's al Ghul is just like...
And Sensei.
Yeah, and
Sensei's like, "I definitely killed her." And Ra's like, "Huh, she revived without a Lazarus pit? That's crazy."
Yeah, right. And that's the first time in ages that they mentioned the Lazarus pit.
Oh, when in the season 2 finale, when he was killed by Black Beetle, Ubu's just like, "Ubu will save you."
You're right.
Ubu
fly. But anyway, so Ra's al Ghul is now intrigued by this lady.
Mm-hmm. And this is when the team just bursts in and rescues them immediately, and they run out into the courtyard where this league is waiting for them, and they fight once again.
For a little bit though.
Yeah, the mysterious red ninja, Ubu, and Sensei are fighting.
Yep, and then of course Ra's al Ghul is like, "Okay, hold on.
Yeah, everyone stop it." And then this is when Ra's vaguely hints, wouldn't the detective be upset at your actions, Dick? And it's like, oh, he knows who Batman is.
Right. I mean, then again, if you know Ra's al Ghul, of course.
He literally trains him before he's Batman, so yeah.
Right. And then, of course, this is where we get interesting, because Dick's like, "Look, I want my people, I just want to get out, no trouble whatsoever." And Ra's al Ghul is like, "Okay, fine, you can let them go." But Artemis is like, Yeah, no, Brion's
like,
like,
my sister?
you have my sister, and you have my sister. We were told that the League of Shadows has her, and we get 2 big drops.
Yeah.
We get, which tells you about the timeline that we're in right now.
Oh, yeah.
First, we hear Ra's al Ghul say, I don't run the League of Shadows anymore. Wow, first off. Secondly, this is the bigger drop, he says, I also am not a part of the light anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm sorry. And Brion is like, no, you're lying. I know you have her. Dick.
Yeah.
It looks dead in his eyes, and he's like, look, Ra's al Ghul is many things, but a liar is not one of them. I'm like, when he said that, I'm just like, yeah, I know that, but still, woo.
Yeah, that is crazy. I love it. It's so good. And then, like, they're like, who's in the league now? He's like, I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm not going to tell you, but I can tell you they're in Santa Prisca.
Yeah, and then they say, like, oh, is it, and Artemis is like, is it my dad? And I was like, oh, yeah, he's sportsmaster. And he's like, no.
He's like, is it my, oh, no, he doesn't even answer. He's like, no. Is it my dad? Is it my sister?
He's like, get out.
Kicks off the island. Yes. Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then that's all of that.
Yeah. Race tells him that Tara was sent away. But was it before or after he stopped being the leader? But yeah.
I don't remember when it was, but all we know is now.
Yeah.
He doesn't. The Infinity Island and Ra's al Ghul don't have Tara.
Yeah.
Because he's not a part of the League of the Shadow, and he's not part of the light. Which,
no, yeah, in my mind, I immediately was just like, well, if Raish isn't in charge, then that has to mean Talia's in charge. But
probably, yeah.
But then, like, after the team gets on the ship and flies away, we see a mysterious woman with a baby walk out.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's Talia al Ghul, and that baby's Damien.
Yep. Like, it was simple because the way she was dressed and the long black hair, I'm like, yeah, that's Talia. And then I'm like, baby, I can deduce, that's Damien.
But even more important, the red masked ninja, while they're flying away, says, Grayson. And I was just like, I know, I didn't, the first time I was just like, who could that be? Is that Bruce being mind controlled? And then, like, second playthrough, I'm like, oh, I know who that is.
I don't think I do, but then again, I've only watched this episode once, so I
don't know if you know, like, extended Batman stuff, but you should.
It's probably not who I'm thinking.
Well, I know, it's probably who you think because you see that character. Well, I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, Brion apologizes, but Connor says, it's fine. The team does this all the time, and like Dick's like, come on, no, this isn't fine. He messed up and he almost got killed. Like, don't do that again. And then they're like, well, we're not going to follow your rules. And like, oh, we need another team, a ninth team.
Forager and Halo are like, we're going to join Brion on this.
He's just like, oh, we need a new group, an outside group that can take care of stuff. And this is when Artemis tells Halo her name is Gabrielle, and we see flashbacks of her life leaving Korak and going to Markovia, where everyone's racist to her.
You're right. And then, of course, she's like, no, my name's Violet.
Yeah, I am Violet now. And that is where we end. Now,
wow, yeah.
Now, I want you to tell me who you think the Red Mask Ninja said Grayson is.
Immediately, my first thought, because of the Red Mask...
Oh, you said your memory's coming back. Raish said that to her.
Right. But because of the Red Mask...
And what he was wearing?
Yeah, I was going to say...
The red colored thing he was wearing.
Okay, so it is him.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay.
We see... I don't know if we see it in this batch of episodes, but we do see... Jason, Todd, Robin.
Yep.
In these batch of episodes.
Okay.
We just see him again in a different thing.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, it's like, at first, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's got to be Jason.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've done this before where I thought it was someone else and it was someone completely different. But now you just pretty much confirmed that it is.
Yeah. But like also, exactly. But also, I love that. You see him for that split second. But the question I wanted to ask was, who's your favorite League of Shadows member of everyone we've seen so far? And just extended stuff if you know any of that.
Honestly, I know it seems like I'm copping out, but since I know him the most, and I've seen quite a few different versions of him from Arkham Asylum / actually mainly City to heck even Batman Begins. I like Ra's al Ghul. See, when I first watched, it was when I watched Batman Begins. Yeah. When I started to get intrigued by Ra's al Ghul. My favorite is always Scarecrow. Like, always give love to the spook. But then I started like looking at Ra's al Ghul. That's when I started watching the animated series like fully. Yeah. And saw him in that. And then my buddy Chris played Arkham City mainly. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Ra's al Ghul is a lot better in my opinion, and he's actually my favorite so far. Because I know now with the League of Shadows being with different management,
Yeah.
Who knows? There may be someone else.
Yep, and I will say that my favorite is probably Black Spider, who I've
Of course it
who
is.
I've not been familiar with in the slightest until Young Justice.
Right? Yeah, this is the first time I've
He's
ever
really
seen.
cool. And the fact that he's just an evil Spider-Man really is like an interesting.
That's all he is. He's just Spider-Man with it. Dude, he's what's his name? He's Tobey Maguire with the black suit.
Oh, the emo? God, no.
Next thing you know, you're gonna see Black Spider just like doing Fat Boy Slim, just
dancing in the middle of the streets. Yeah, disco dancing. God, ridiculous.
Okay, anyway. But yeah, that's my favorite. But like, are you serious? Black Spider is your favorite?
Yeah, honestly, well, between like Ubu, the mysterious red hooded man who we don't know, Sensei, who I barely knew before, Raish, I really like if it's there's a character in, like I said, Demon Knights who may or may not be Ra's al Ghul in like medieval times, but then like in his daughter and the other new leader who we meet later, I know all the characters, I know a bunch of stuff that they've done, but I never really cared much for the League of Shadows as a whole group, but Black Spider's really fun and I like his character.
He is. He's like the opposite. Like where Ra's al Ghul is like super serious, refined. Black Spider's like the opposite of that.
Yeah, he's very goofy and he's just like literally
goofy,
Spider-Man.
witty, everything. Well, I mean, Ra's al Ghul is very witty, but
of course, yeah,
with no sense of humor.
This is when episode.
I was gonna say episode 7. Now, before we get into this, of these 4 episodes for this episode. This one's my favorite.
I was gonna say I probably would have guessed that for you. Yeah.
No, it's not just because of the backstory of what we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
There's a more specific reason. But anyway, episode 7,
Evolution. It opens on a weird sci-fi white room. We see an older, dark-skinned lady with like long hair named Olympia.
Yep, Olympia.
Giving a weird, stretched-out old book.
Yeah, like it's got like a weird scratch mark on it and stuff.
To a young girl named Cassandra. Now, Cassandra, I was about to just say her last. Yeah, we see that they are. She says that she is the daughter of Vandal Savage, and the book is a book of things that she should know.
Yep.
Now, Cassandra Savage is I believe, an original character from that god-awful shit show Legends of Tomorrow.
Wait, that's what her introduction was?
Vandal Savage is the main villain in the first season of that show. And I believe that Cassandra is like later on, like season 2 or 3, comes in and like helps him kind of, but she's like a minor character. I think she eventually turns good in that. But yeah, they put her in this too, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's an interesting character from a show I despise. So that's really interesting. Right. We see that this is the story of man, of all mankind.
Like from the beginning of time and everything.
Yeah, we see a modern day Vandal Savage looking off into space when it shifts into caveman Vandal Savage, seeing the meteor falling from the sky. Yep. That gives, well, if you know Vandal Savage's lore, gives him and Mr. Immortal their immortality.
Oh, which one's Mr.
That's his
Immortal?
villain.
Wait, Vandal Savage, a villain, has a villain.
He's his hero who he's usually an antagonist to.
Oh,
he's escalated to be beyond, that character is like slipped away into complete obscurity while Vandal Savage has been promoted to more important. Yeah, there was another one.
Wow, okay. But yeah, anyway, so we actually get a little bit of the story when Vandal was living as a caveman, and then actually like finds the meteor. Yeah. But we don't get the entire story yet.
Yeah, because Olympia interrupts and says, Vandal, like she's like, what? If we have a threat from space, he says, what, a meteor? And she says, no, it's an armada. And it's just like, oh, he was in the past. Armada. And we see a huge fleet of ships approaching, and that is when we hit the intro.
Yep. And after the intro, we actually go to Mount Justice.
Yeah.
Which is still destroyed, mind you.
Yeah, of course. It's just a beach right now. The team chills on the beach. Connor's listening to a radio broadcast with Steve Lombard. If you know old school Superman comics, of course, the Superman bully from Sports.
Right.
There's a couple of those in this series, in this season. And he also mentions Victor Stone is playing really good in sports anyway.
Victor Stone? Oh, wow. Anyway, everyone's having fun.
Brion this is the start of him just looking at his phone constantly for Markovian news.
Yep.
While Forager acts like a crab very hilariously.
Right, he's like, he literally like watches a crab and starts imitating the walk.
Sidewalking like a crab.
And all of a sudden we hear Dick, he's like, hey guys, all right, here you go. We're going to be starting training, but first, hands them their super suits.
Heck yeah,
so Brion. No one's got to make that joke about where's my super suit.
Brion's like, oh, you guys, these are form-fitting as you superheroes seem to be a fan of.
Right, and he's like, but you do know my powers, right? You're like, yeah, we thought about that. Yep. So when you wear that suit, it's not going to burn.
Yeah, we learned that it was made by Fire. Ice's partner in the Justice League. I'm like, oh, hey, Fire's in there.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
And they crack the joke where it's like, yeah, don't worry about that because we know all the other times you've been, well, naked. And of course, Forager's like, wait, what is naked? It's like, when you don't wear any clothes. He's like,
Forager's
always naked. And they're like, no. He's like, okay, fine. Puts on his like goggles, like his swimming goggles. Now Forager is dressed.
Yeah, it's hilarious. This is when we cut back to the past. Vandal Savage is tracking the meteor as a caveman.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to find it. But then his old enemy, a big-ass bear.
Yep.
A cave bear.
I was going to say, well, you got to realize, he's a caveman.
Yeah, it's a cave bear, which is a breed of, ancient breed of gigantic, like twice as big as normal bear's bear.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Not only is it a cave bear, but this is like, you make it known that this is like the big baddie because it's got like a scar on its face and everything.
And then it gives Vandal one in kind. It gives him the big scar on his face that he has forever.
And then, of course, I think, doesn't he...
it cuts to the present now, with him talking to
first.
Lex, with Olympia and Cassandra standing in the background.
And Olympia, like, goes over to Cassandra and goes, hey, did you get to the part about the bear
yet?
And she's just like, yes, I did. Because Cassandra's, like, very formal, so when Vandal Savage is, like, talking to Lex about this, she's like... I'm at attention kind of thing. And of course, Olympia just like sneaks over. Did you get to the part? And she's like, yes, I did. I'm still reading.
Yeah, this is when Olympia tells her that's her favorite part when she wrote it.
That is my favorite part. It's like, okay.
Yeah, Lex tells him that that their Legion of Doom right now is split. And the League is also split. They're off-world and they can't stop the aliens.
Yep, and Vandal's like, what about the Green Lantern Corps? And he's like, well, they're off
fighting the Reach.
Oh, that's right, they're fighting the Reach.
And the other half is half of them are fighting the Reach, the other half is fighting the partner, aka Apocalypse. But also I was gonna say, like, a funny thing, when they mention that the League is split, they mean that when Batman Inc. crew left, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, none of those people could stop an alien invasion.
Right.
They're all pretty much like basic level, barely any of them have superpowers.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know
they're all
Batman's
incredibly capable, and all of his teams are incredibly capable. But
definitely,
I don't
and
think
they all have the intellect,
but
they don't have. I mean, and they probably have the means of building things, but they don't have the capabilities.
Yeah, and this is when they say, well, what about our evil team? Is like, well, they're off scheming, and like, what about Clarion? He could definitely help with this magic.
Clarion's just unavailable.
He's off. He's like off doing like Project Rutabaga is all the
Project Rutabaga.
Yep, and Savage says, fine, I'll protect the Earth myself.
Yep, I'll do it myself.
Cut to the past.
Yep, back to the past, where this is when Vandal Savage actually does
kill the bear. And he says he feels like a god.
And he like even like does like takes its blood and like wipes it all over. You know, caveman thing. He's like,
of course. This is when we cut to Metropolis. Jefferson and Dr. Jace are on a date. I'm still weirded out by it.
More specifically, they're not just on a date. They're in the hotel room after the.
Not yet. That's the sexy. That scene doesn't happen yet. This one is just like at the thing talking about like, oh, this is so crazy with the kids and everything, isn't it? Yeah, it's really crazy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This is when at Mount Justice, Dick trains Forager, and he's like having a fight with him, and he's just like, hey, you gotta be prepared. And then Forager tricks him out of the circle, and it's a very funny little fight.
Dude, that was awesome. It's like, yeah, you gotta be aware of everything. And then Forager, grabs sand and throws it in his eyes, puts him out, and he goes, the Dick must know that Forager does not play fair.
Yeah, it's very funny. Halo, Halo and Brion are training as well.
Yep, Halo is training with Artemis specifically.
Yeah.
And
Brion's training with Connor and accidentally burns him, but says, hey, I'm getting better.
Yeah, I'm getting better. And Connor's just like, yeah, seriously.
Yeah. And this is when we cut to outer space with War World. Savage threatens the Armada, but they just don't stop, and they actually
the Armada's just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, and Olympia, of course, has to lean over Cassandra. Did you get to the part about the bear yet? And she's like, what?
I did. She's like, I did. I mean, you already asked me that. She's like, that's my favorite part.
Yeah. Then this is when Warworld continues to not get a response from this Armada and opens fire, but something doesn't seem right with Vandal Savage or Cassandra.
Yeah, it's like they just both know that something is amiss.
Yep.
Back at Mount Justice.
Oh, I was saying back in the past first.
Oh, that's right.
He finally reaches the meteor, and he's like, about to touch it when he is speared by some Neanderthals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Vandal Savage is technically Homo sapien.
Yeah, and
there's actual Neanderthals still. Yeah, so he gets speared, and he's just like, no. And then, that's all we get for now.
Yeah.
And yes, just so you know, if you're familiar with this, there's a lot of cuts.
So. Oh, yeah, it's very, very quick cutting. In the present, on Warworld continues to hold the fleet off, but Olympia is pointed out by Cassandra to Olympia that there is a second fleet approaching from the other side of the solar system.
Yep.
Yeah, what the heck? And
Pincer attack.
Yeah, this is when we cut to Mount Justice again.
Hey,
the gang is having a nice little campfire with marshmallows. Forager
s'mores.
Forager peels a banana, throws the banana out, and eats the peel.
Right? I know that's a typical stereotype alien thing.
Yeah.
But with Forager, it's just
of course
hilarious.
Because in the background, it's not pointed out. It's very funny.
Yeah.
They talk about Batman and Superman fighting, and it's very funny because I'm like,
the who would win in a fight, Batman and Superman. And, the thing that Matt and I always have a discussion about.
Yeah, of course, because Superman would literally kill Batman faster than he could blink. But
except for he's tried that many times. And
he's
Batman's
never tried
always,
it.
He has.
He's never tried to kill Superman.
Yes,
when
they
he's tried to kill,
times.
and Superman kills him.
No.
Yeah.
Batman kills him
No,
because
he
he's
does
got
not.
the freaking kryptonite.
The kryptonite
Batman
doesn't mean
always
anything.
comes prepared.
That doesn't mean anything. He can kill him before he can open his belt and get kryptonite. But anyway, we're not gonna start this.
Anyway.
But of course, Connor mentions why would they even fight? And then they joke about oh yeah, well, what could be they could be mind controlled or something. Oh no, that would never happen. And they all wink at each other because they know that it could and probably has.
No, there's no probably. They remember New Year's Eve.
Oh yeah,
that one time.
This leads Dick to talking about how Homo sapiens wiped out Neanderthals.
Yep, and this is when we get another cutback
to the past.
When Vandal Savage does kill the one.
He wakes up from being killed.
Yeah, wakes up from being killed. Yep. And then after that, doesn't he kill the guy who speared him?
Mm-hmm.
And then after he does that, and after all the other Neanderthals see that he is still alive, they all just bow to him.
Yep, they bow to him.
You are the god, or you are the chief, or whatever it was back then.
Yeah, Savage in the present on Warworld.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Because Dick also mentions that
they wiped him out.
There was a new species that emerged. As there's doing that flashback, there's a new species that emerged during Homo sapien Neanderthal fighting, and that's when metahumans were born.
Yeah, metahumans were born because the Neanderthals were completely wiped out.
Yep.
This is when, in modern times, Savage on Warworld is asking Darkseid for help.
And of course, Darkseid's like, look, it's for the investment, so yeah, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, I'll help you right now. You're good. Cut back to a different time in the past, the 13th century. Vandal Savage is Genghis Khan.
Yep.
This is when...
Spoilers. Genghis Khan is actually Vandal Savage.
And this is when we learned that Darkseid had approached Earth during this century and tried to destroy it. But...
However, Darkseid was very impressed at the genetic gift that Vandal Savage had.
Yeah. And he sees that his two sons that helped him were fighting off Darkseid's people pretty okay.
Yeah, but then,
he used the Omega Sanction on Vandal Savage, and then he didn't die from it.
Yeah,
it's just whoa.
Again, just to reinstate this, the Omega Sanction, one of the most powerful things that Darkseid can do, did not kill Vandal Savage.
Yeah, and then this is when I think it's the Sod is just you can help with the anti-life equation, and I'm just you.
Yep, there it is. He said the thing. Let's go home.
And this is when they make a deal, and he says, "All right." This is when we see in the background Calabec, Desaad, maybe I think Steppenwolf on Earth. Yeah,
which one was the one you think?
The shitty villain from Justice League. While Vandal Savage and Darkseid are shaking hands, agreeing to a plan to help Earth by leaving them alone for now.
Yeah.
You see his two sons with meta powers, but we also behind Darkseid see Calabec, Desaad, and a large, dark-skinned warrior-looking Apocalyptian who's taller than both of them.
Oh yeah.
I assume
you're right. That could be.
I'm assuming it's Steppenwolf but Justice League is so tainted the freaking Steppenwolf in my brain that I'm just fuck him forever. But still.
Right. But yeah, after we get that,
we see that they are going to have a plot to control the galaxy, and one day when it's just Earth versus Apocalypse at the very end of all things.
Yep, they would actually have a big final showdown.
Yeah, that is but this is when we cut to Jace and Jefferson on a date, and this is when
actually on the dinner date.
Yeah, this is when she asks about the kids, and he says, "Don't worry, they still care about you. You're still good."
And they hold hands and they have a cute moment.
Yeah, and this is when Dick gives some weird flowery language, and everyone's like, "What is he talking about?" He means your code names.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, you need to have your code names." And this one's hilarious because Forager's just Forager is always Forager.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Forager. Violet says she's Halo.
Yeah, Violet's Violet Halo because that's literally the only thing they've been calling her.
Yeah, and I'll be Violet when I'm normal. Yeah, I'll be Violet when I'm normal. I'll be Halo when I'm fighting.
And then Breon. This is the best one.
Yeah.
Breon's like, I want to be called Hot Lava. And then everyone laughs, and Artemis is just like, no, I'm not going to call you Hot Lava.
I control lava, and I bring the hotness in my suit.
Yeah, that's what it is. I bring the hotness in my suit. He's like, I'm not calling you Hot Lava. It's like, well, the actual power that I have is called Geoforce.
Yeah, the type of power in the family.
And everyone's like, Geoforce. That actually sounds a lot better.
Artemis says like, oh, it sounds less strippery than hot lava, so...
Yes. And yes, that is legitimately what she says. Like, where in the first 2 seasons, they were hinting at little jokes like that. Yeah. No, this one, they're just straight out, you don't sound like a stripper when you say that.
And this is when the new team of Forager, Halo, and Geoforce show off some cool moves, and we cut back to space with modern Vandal Savage. Calabac is here, and he says, I used to, like, hey, they keep making fun of his last name being Savage, I think.
Right.
The Apocalypse people are always like, Savage. And it's like,
Savage.
Yeah.
And how you
Calabac,
anyway,
Calabac is just like, oh, well, don't worry, I'll save you. And then, what's his name's just like, Vandal Savage is like, oh, of course, I'm glad he sent his favorite son to help me. And then Calabac's just like, you stupid human.
Yeah, right. And then, of course, this is like when you see the Armada is like crippled, and Vandal notices what was wrong. Because
before that, we see, back to when Vandal Savage says, or Calabac, after Vandal disses him, says, I'm the only son who should be concerned with. Which I'm like, is he talking about Orion? But then he says, I'll show you our real power. And then he send out from the Apocalypse side a single metahuman in a spacesuit. And they send it to the middle of the ships. It shoots out some electricity, knocking out a couple of them.
That's right.
But then that metahuman awakens, explodes, and takes out the entire second fleet.
Yep.
And this is when Savage is saying like, or no, I think Olympia or Cassandra is just like, what a waste. That metahuman could have been used for other things instead of killing him like that.
Right.
Important.
But then, you're right. All of that does happen, but then Vandal does notice with one of the aliens.
Yeah, why aren't they responding? This is so weird. And then one's floating in space.
You got one floating in space, and you see some kind of influence on him.
Yeah, of course.
It's a very specific Starro. Yeah, they're under the influence of Starro, and which initiates a flashback.
Yeah, Vandal says, Cassandra, you take the helm, and he gets up and gives her
he actually gives control of Warworld to
and
her.
then in the past, this really interesting scene.
Yeah, do they ever say, that's
right. He's the Babylonian god Marduk.
That's right, he's Marduk.
Yeah, and if you know, I can't remember the name of that book. There's a really cool book about, like, Marduk and stuff. But yeah, he's a really interesting...
so he's
Babylonian,
the Babylonian god of Marduk, where... He's fighting an army with his 2 children.
Yep.
Ishtar and Naboo. Like when I heard Naboo, I'm like, what? And then of course, Naboo is literally wearing the helmet.
Yeah, he's human.
So it's just like, oh, okay, it is that Naboo.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Now about the army, they're fighting some weird star creature.
No, the army. Yeah, the army's army that they're fighting all of humans with the stars on their faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they're like star creatures on everyone's faces.
Yeah, like we don't know where the mysterious star creatures came from, and they're just like,
But yeah, so right now
we see the human Naboo is killed by the Starro people.
Yep, Naboo. There's something important. Naboo is killed.
Yeah, the human Naboo is killed.
So it's literally just
Ishtar and
Marduk. And then that's when we go back to
Cassandra.
Yep.
They're cutting between like making it obvious that the Starro situation with Vandal and his daughter in the past is the same as now with Vandal and his daughter in the present.
Right.
Now instead
of
obvious. Ishtar, it's Cassandra now.
Yep. But now we go back to Metropolis, where a very drunk Helga...
silly drunk hotel shenanigans with the 2 of Jace and Jefferson.
And of course, Jefferson's being the gentleman that he is, and is taking her to her room, where she drags him in with him.
Ooh, saucy. No. And this is... funny. Dude, yeah, I know, you don't know her as like exclusively a shitty, horrible person.
I don't,
It's really weird for me.
Dude,
I can't believe this is happening.
As we say in the Korra episodes, too much oogie.
But Savage boom tubes on to the lead ship and kills some guards.
Where he encounters like the actual Starro.
Yeah, the main big Starro.
The main Starro.
Well,
a main Starro.
A big Starro.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're right, because Starro can be many.
We've seen the one on Earth that was the whole mind control thing of season 1.
Right.
So yeah.
Wait,
we haven't cut to...
What?
We haven't cut to like them getting rid of... Okay, no.
Well, they start fighting at least.
We see him like in the past. We see like, he's going, and then we see in the parallels to the past, we see the daughter Ishtar and Marduk Savage did kill the Starro in the past, dumping it into the water where the Atlanteans deal with it in the future.
Oh, Dang.
But since of their great the deed that saved the entire planet, they are now known as the Light.
Yep, that is where we get the origin of the Light.
Yeah.
And of course, like Matt said, we get side by side. So like Ishtar and Marduk are killing the Starro, but Vandal Savage in the present is killing the Starro.
Yeah.
As all of this is happening, kind of thing.
Intercutting them, it's a really, really cool sequence.
So now we know how Atlantis got the Starro.
Yeah.
The frozen, I think it was frozen Starro.
Yeah, in that time period,
and we also learned the origins of why the group is called the Light.
The Light, yeah. Connor, Artemis, and Dick are still at Mount Justice. They congratulate the team on working together. Halo shows a new power, green cloning.
That's right, green, and it makes duplicates.
And
she does her own version of Kagebushin no Jutsu.
Oh god, don't even. And then they say, Dick's like, okay, starting training over again.
Yep, and we're just gonna start all over again.
Yep, on War World, Savage is collecting the dead Starro.
Yep, collecting the dead Starro, and as she's...
Olympia has something to say though.
Yep.
Did you get to the part about the bear yet?
and Cassandra's like, yes, I already told you I have. And then Vandal notices this question and says...
What? Before that...
Oh, not that?
Cassandra says, yes, I know, you keep asking about it. She says, that was my favorite part until today. I can't wait to log this part.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
She says, I can't wait to log it. And then Vandal notices that comment and says, look, Olympia, my daughter. There's a big thing right there.
Yeah.
My daughter. I told you, but we've already talked about this. She's like, wait, we have? He's like, yeah. We can't have this ever written. I have plans that are going to take even millennia before they come to fruition. Nobody must know about them. No one must have a chance. And she's like, oh. And then Vandal walks closer, puts like his hands on her shoulders, and goes, tell me, why is the part of the bear your favorite part?
Yep.
And she's like, because it was you before you became the savior of the world. It was you, like, when you were just a man. It was you that... And then Vandal just snaps her neck.
Yeah.
And then
crazy.
Cassandra, like flinches at this, but then she's like, you did her an honor.
Yeah.
Because her mind was kind of messed up.
Yep.
So...
And she says, I'll destroy the books. Yeah.
She's like, I know, I'll give back the books, and I'll take the proper respect. And Vandal's like, no. Any daughter of Savage deserves a funeral worthy of the gods.
Yep.
And he walks away, and that's when it fades out. And probably I forget what the quote is, because there was that final quote.
It's a line about keeping keeping things alive for a greater purpose.
Yeah, it was really
he wouldn't sacrifice something if it can be used for a greater purpose. And this is when we see Mongol and the dead Starro, presumably also Despero.
Yep.
Left on War World.
But then, to end this episode, we get just a few words. In memory of Miguel Ferrer.
Yeah. And Ferrer, I believe so, yes. Huge voice actor and huge actor.
Yeah, but you want to know the biggest thing about why this episode was important and why that is?
Because
he was the voice of Vandal Savage.
Yeah, in the original season, yeah.
Yeah.
He's also voice of the main villain in Mulan, Shan Yu.
Yep, he is Shan Yu.
Bob Morton in RoboCop, he's like one of the main guys in RoboCop. He was the vice president in Iron Man 3. He's been in a ton of movies.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of things. And just because I had to look that voice actor up just to make sure.
I saw his picture, I recognize him from 1,000 different movies. But
and then I'm like, that's why it was so focused on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, episode ends after that.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, but I'm just like, that is actually. It wasn't just the backstory of Vandal Savage. Like, there was some information I didn't know about that. Like, the whole thing with the Light, the Starros in the past. Him being Marduk. Him being Genghis Khan.
His son being Naboo.
Yeah, his son being Naboo. And his daughter Ishtar.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was literally a dedicated to Vandal Savage episode to honor his voice actor. That's what made this one my favorite. Yeah, it was incredible. I'm like, there was some silly moments. But this one right here was like...
I would say everything silly was with the team.
Yeah,
everything incredible was with Vandal and his crew.
Exactly. I was just like, this was a more serious episode than usual. And I'm just like, I like it.
It was a really, really good episode.
Yeah, it came slightly from left field, but it was very good. It was very interesting. Gave me a little bit more light on Vandal Savage's character himself.
Yeah.
and it honored the passing of a very big voice actor.
Yeah. It was really, really good episode. I loved the reveal about Naboo and Ishtar, and I loved all the deal with him and finding out what the origin of the deal with him and Apocalypse.
Right,
and Darkseid is. It was all really, really good. I loved it.
It was great. Like, a lot of gaps got filled in this episode.
Oh, yeah. And I love finding out the origin of the Starro and the Starro still being in space. And it was just so much really cool stuff.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was a really, really good episode, God.
Well, what's your question?
Oh, no, my thing was going to be mostly about just the voice actor and then also Naboo and Ishtar and the two sons that we didn't get a name for.
Because
Cassandra and Olympia.
You like to ask me a question.
Oh, yeah, about, we already talked about it. No, that's what I was kind of about all minutes about, like, the children of Vandal Savage, like, all of them, just, like, which... About all them, like Cassandra and all of them. I'm upset that Scandal didn't get a review, but she, in comics, she hates Vandal. She never wants to associate with him. She disassociates with him as much as she possibly can. Now, so I get that.
Okay, here's my question, one that you can actually answer. Mm-hmm. Because of the power that Vandal Savage has, his immortality and stuff like that, does that pass through genetics?
In this show, it seems that his kids have different random powers. That, like, because they're just regular metahumans that can do anything, or we don't know what they can do.
In this one, he's literally the metahuman.
I believe maybe they're hinting at, like, he's the actual origin of the whole thing.
Because when Dick was talking about in the past how metahumans were born,
that's
when he had touched the meteor, and that's when he had, like, immortality.
Possibly, But, like I'll say, for example... I don't know all of his kids in the comics and stuff. They have different powers sometimes, but Scandal specifically is just, like, near impossible to kill, seemingly like Vandals. Like, she was, like, hit by a car and pinned to a wall and survived that. So, like, what killed Olympia wouldn't have killed her. A neck break, she's had far worse than, like, a neck break happened to her.
Right.
But but she presumes that she may not be, like, 100% immortal like Vandal is, but she can survive a lot. That's basically, she can survive a lot. But, they all have different meta powers, and it was like, really interesting. I love seeing Vandal's background. It was a really, really good episode.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Like, it was... Where sometimes, like in the beginning of the season, where we had serious, and then silly, and it was a relief. In this case, this one was one of the opposites, where it was serious, and it was a relief that he did this.
It was really amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
But now, episode
we could go on.
8, my favorite episode of this group, honestly.
Triptych?
Triptych, yeah.
Yeah, triptych.
And if you don't know what a triptych is, it is a 3-part art piece which tells a single story. It can be 3 different paintings next to each other, or it could be a piece of music, a writing, and a picture. It's like 3 different art pieces that connect.
Yeah, see, I've heard the word before. Never knew what it actually meant.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 different things that tell the same story.
Yeah, that connect through a story.
Oh, so like some kind of, like sometimes movies with anthologies.
Yeah, like a trilogy movie.
Yeah, okay.
But, it opens on Oracle at a bat computer, and Dick is telling her about a heist with Mist, Shade, and Livewire.
Oh.
God, I love this group.
Honestly, and particularly, we'll get to it more, but you'll see why Shade is my favorite in this.
I didn't recognize him as Shade from Justice League until the end when he had his actual outfit. I was just like,
Yes. It was the moment he donned the hat. I'm like,
that's who that was.
Anyway, but first...
they are a heist with the Star Labs Detroit.
Yep. Star Labs in Detroit.
Yeah, Shade is teleporting the team in.
Yep.
We get to see his power, how they work. We just teleport. He's like, look, I'm looking for the darkness within. And he pops up inside. We see Livewire knockout Dr. Silas Stone.
Oh, Silas Stone. That's not important at all. Anyway.
Lots of funny jokes from,
from
Livewire making a lot of funny sex jokes.
Right, just like, oh boy.
It's so funny.
But then they get caught by a security guard.
Before that, there's a huge big machine that they're trying to steal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Shade... Like, he strains a little bit.
Yeah, but he
is able
he manages to disconnect it, even though we do get a little sparky bit from a part that breaks off. Important.
Very
it sparks a little bit while he manages to consume the whole machine.
And he does.
In the shadows.
He does it.
This is when Silas wakes up. He's like, oh, he slaps the alarm.
Yeah, slaps that button.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice little slap, and the security guard's like,
what's going on? And
who was all this then?
Yeah, Shades just manages to swallow the whole thing. Livewire's just like, God, come on.
Oh, Lord.
Make
and then
easy.
the guard gets blindsided by...
Cheshire.
Yep, by Cheshire.
She's like, hey, come on, you're my team. And I'm just like, I love this group so much. And this is when she gets shot in the shoulder in the back.
Yep.
Knocked over a table, which causes the lamp to cast a big shadow, which the team is able to escape from.
Well, of course, because that's what Shade does.
Yeah,
that is how the Shade does.
Yeah, he escapes the whole team, and that's when we hit the intro.
Yep,
now,
we got that intro. I'm like, dude, when I saw that, I'm just like, okay, first off, because of the power, I'm like, that can't be who I think it is, because he looks like a marionette kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a weird
Shade
mask.
does. Yeah, because of that mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not used to this. I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
Because the shadow thing I did not make a connection to that.
Same. I was just like, I'm certain this is a DC character, but I'm not placing him yet. And then Mist is really a little cutie. I don't know who she is.
Yeah,
Livewire is a joke as always.
That's right, because Mist is always like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like Livewire, I know, of course, because freaking Superman TAS, which I'm pretty sure is where she was invented.
I think she was in that one. Yeah, but just Livewire was hilarious.
I love them all.
Mist was adorable, and Shade. Well,
Shade's awesome.
Mysterious guy who is Shade.
That whole team is great, but
yeah, it's amazing. But anyway, after the intro,
Metropolis, great.
At the
It's our favorite
Grand Hotel.
It's our favorite couple, Jason Jefferson, having up some post-coital pillow talk.
I'm sorry, but coital is not a funny word. But anyway,
him being back in the superhero game and saying like, I left the league and did I do the wrong thing, ditching Static, and like he doesn't have a partner to teacher anymore.
And of course,
and again, like Batman Inc.'s whole thing, and
yep. And of course, Helga is like, reassuring him and all that stuff, like a good not ex-wife would do.
When he gets a call from Dick.
Hey, so what you're saying is he gets cock-blocked by Dick.
Oh, God. At the Happy Harbor, the team meets...
Jefferson arrives in a Zeta tube.
Yeah, the team meets except for Connor and McGann, who are having some kind of fight.
No. They're mending the fence.
Yeah. Long fence metaphor.
Anyway, yeah, they're mending the fence.
Yeah,
anyway,
Dick says that we have a lead.
Breon's like,
can we stop with the metaphor, please?
No more.
Dick says that they have a lead. It's not great, but...
Yes, but they do have some intelligence on the League of Shadows, which could...
Wait, we have a lead. A lead, that's great. Well, not great. It involves this person. That's wonderful. Well, not wonderful, but it involves this one. Excellent. And like, not excellent, Forager said. Like, Forager gets this
that's
joke.
right, because Forager's still understanding the human way.
It's a very funny little joke thing with everybody.
Right.
They say since it's Cheshire and she's wounded, Artemis is going to go after the team and they're going to go catch him. Yep. They stole a machine from Star Labs.
Meanwhile...
And they just say since it was Cheshire, they believe it might be the League of Shadows.
Yes. They tried to link, because... I don't know when this takes place, but I think it's before they found out the truth about the League.
This is the latest, I believe, because everyone gets caught.
Well, no, I'm saying
in the 3-part story that we're going to hear.
Yeah, during this heist.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is when they already found out about Ra's al Ghul not being part of it.
Oh wait, no. This is the first thing that happened. This is the oldest event in what we're going to see happen.
Okay. So anyway, after that whole thing, we cut back to Detroit, where you're inside like an empty warehouse, like a plane warehouse,
an airfield.
Yep.
Because they see a plane.
I had to look this guy up. Apparently, this
Dr. Moon?
Yeah, Dr. Moon.
He's a Batman surgeon villain. He's also Justice League Unlimited.
I had forgotten him in Justice League Unlimited. Don't even remember him in Batman the animated series.
Yeah, but but
I had to look him up. I'm like, who is this guy? He seems important. Yeah, he's
Dr. Moon. Yeah, he's a surgery psycho villain, of course.
But anyway, he had just removed the bullet.
Yeah, they're on a plane and like she's like, yo, you should probably use aesthetic. This could be dangerous. She's like, I don't trust anybody, not even myself. And it's when the team shows up and stops the plane. Geoforce melts the tires and Forager knocks everybody out. It's great. Yep. Black Lightning is amazing, and then Black Lightning and Livewire face off.
I love it because Livewire's like, oh, you've got lightning. Ooh, so do I. You're not gonna be able to hurt me. And then
the fight ends later, but Mist goes after Dick, and it's very funny because he's a great fighter, but you can't touch her because she's made of mist.
Yeah, because she's made of mist.
Yeah, and all of her clothes she pulls a Breon hot lava, and all of her clothes fall off when she turns into her mist form.
Yep.
And so she's just standing there with like Dick just swinging the batons, not being able to hit her, and she's like, "Well, I can't hit you, but you can't touch me." Her hands become solid and starts choking him.
Yeah, right. I thought that was hilarious.
Mist is great.
It's a double whammy. I may not be able to hit you, but you can't. It's like, of course, Mist is adorable because as she's choking him, she's like, I don't mean to do this.
Yeah, sorry. Shade takes out all 3 newbies because he's great. Geoforce, Halo, and Forager are just getting their butts kicked by him very easily. It's very cool.
And then, of course, Geoforce is like going up to attack Shade, and Shade's just like, portal closed. I don't want to let him go.
Yep, and this is when Dick freezes Mist.
Uses a chemical spray to freeze her in her mist form.
And this is when we see Black Lightning take out
Livewire.
Yeah,
Livewire's just like,
she's like, I can absorb lightning, and she's like, well, you haven't had Black Lightning.
You haven't had Black Lightning. She's like, wait, what? And it actually hurts her. Like he does like some tasting thing with her.
Yeah,
head.
he like actually like grabs her head and like actually like blasts her with it and knocks her out. It is a very cool sequence.
Yeah, it is actually really awesome. And then of course, as all of this is happening,
what's it called? Shade won't release Geoforce, and like Halo's like, give him back, let him go, and he's like, no, I don't think so. I'll leave him there forever.
And then this is when we get new power. Halo unlocks the white aura, which literally just emanates a
giant
huge
blinding
bright
light, which it's like is actually hurting Shade. And he falls down, and he like disappears into a shadow and spits out Geoforce.
Yeah, he literally just like goes into a portal and it like closes, but it opens up. It's like bleh.
Yeah, spits. That's really funny.
But this is interesting because Shade has been in there and out. He's just like, what happened? It was like he I don't think he could ever actually explain it, but it's just like, yeah. So if you live through that thing. It's like some kind of a cosmic horror kind of thing where it's like, I can't describe it.
Yeah, and this is when we see on the plane, Dr. Moon's like, oh, Artemis pops up. Dr. Moon's like, what are you doing? You can't be in here. She just knocks him out in a second. Yeah, he's dealt with.
And then of course, she lets Cheshire go. It was like, hey, two things. One, I'm letting you go.
Yep.
Secondly, and this she's like, oh, that's good. That's good. But I'm not gonna see. I can't see my daughter. Not like this. And it was give a hug for my daughter.
Yeah,
for me. And Artemis is like, which leads to number 2. Visit your daughter.
Go see your daughter. She tells her. Did you mention that she says like she won't say who's leading the league as well, but they're on Santa Prisca.
Yes.
Yeah. This is when they find out. Not earlier.
That's right.
Rach didn't tell them anything, but they find out from Cheshire that they're on Santa Prisca.
Yes. This is when they get the Santa Prisca lead.
Yeah, and she says, "I can't see Leon right like this." And this Shade pops up and takes her away.
Yep. He's like, whoop you.
Yep. Artemis. Oh no, this is the most recent event then.
My bad. Yeah, and then after all that, like Artemis doesn't even try to go after them because sister. Come on.
Yeah, of course. This is when Artemis tells Dick they're where they are, and it's like, okay, well, we know they're in Santa Prisca.
Yep.
Now that was part 1 of the triptych.
Yep. That is where we end part 1, and now we're gonna cut to part 2, starting in Gotham City.
Yeah, Batman gets a report from Tim Drake Robin as his team was following Jarvis Tetch.
Yep, and which by the way, first time we actually see Jarvis in this universe.
Yeah, and without his helmet on too.
But he was just walking like a normal person.
Yeah, he's normal, drinking a bunch of water.
Drinking a whole bunch of water, like throwing it away like normal, except for one bottle, which it was littering.
Yeah, and this is when we see Robin's team. Arrowette, Sissy King Jones, she is the daughter of the guy that Roy and Oliver saved from Black Spider in season 1. She was a little girl in the building. Yeah.
Wait, Arrowette is?
Arrowette.
Huh. Sissy I didn't know that.
King Jones. She's also, her mother is Bonnie King, who's a longtime villain, also called Arrowette of Green Arrow.
Oh, okay.
But
see, I don't know that, but
yeah, this is when I see Spoiler Stephanie Brown as Spoiler.
No. I was gonna say her name is Spoiler. That's not a spoiler. Her name is that.
Yeah, and this is when we see
a new one.
Cassandra Cain as Orphan. I literally screamed.
Cassandra Cain.
Yes,
as in like granddaughter of Alfred.
No. That's Pennyworth. Sure, that there will be Pennyworth.
Oh.
How dare you?
Slap my hand. Ow. I hope that went through in the audio.
Cassandra Cain is Orphan, a.k.a. the mute Batgirl, who has the usually background with the mouth shown. If you ever seen that aesthetic, she is really, really cool. She's not saying anything. She's awesome. They continue to follow the Mad Hatter. Like, hey, he's not wearing his hat. Like, well, at least he's not the Mad Panther.
I was going to say, so what's going on? And of course, as this is happening, they actually... it was Orphan. Orphan just goes straight down the truck.
Well, before that, we see, Arrowette, Spoiler, and Tim follow Tetch, get a bottle, see a bunch of clay particulates, and they're like, it's Clayface.
It's Clayface.
But they realize, like, wait a minute, where's Orphan? She's already following him, and she cuts him in half with a sword.
It's straight up, and they're like, dude. And it's just like, but we know it's Clayface.
But she didn't know he was Clayface.
Oh, right. It's like, dude, you didn't know it was... And Orphan, who does not talk, is just like, it gives them the, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
and of
who
course,
cares?
Clayface, I don't like this Clayface
he looks a little weird.
At this moment.
He looks a little, he looks like the weird fleshy, Venom.
No, it's not that. It's the way he acts.
Well, he's technically...
Yeah.
Well, he's a little...
We'll get there. But it's just like, at this point, I didn't like him. Because he was just like, must get to Touch. I must help.
Yeah, it's a very
It's
cool
like,
scene.
okay, follow him. Because we know now that it's Clayface, we can just follow him to wherever he's going.
Yep.
And of course,
This is when they follow him. He jumps into the sewer and escapes because they say, "Well, obviously he's running with Tetch. We'll go after Tetch." He's just like, "No." And he's saying, "Wait, well, we lost him. What are you gonna do?" And then it's when I believe it's Spoiler says that she tagged him with the Liquid Tracer.
Liquid Tracer, and then we find out in a warehouse that Tetch is there, and he is injecting some kind of liquid to an individual,
to a weird tied up prisoner man.
Yeah, to a tied up prisoner man. But here's the thing, because if you know the Mad Hatter from anything, he is known for mind control. Yeah. That is his thing. So him injecting someone with something, it's like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah. Also, is he not wearing the hat at this time, right?
No, he's no hat. Yeah. Wait, or is he wearing?
I think he might be wearing the hat at this point.
He's wearing. You're right. He is wearing the hat because that's his thing.
Yeah, and this is when Clayface goops out of the sink and says, "I'm here to protect you." And he's like, "From what?" And this is when the team bursts in. He's like, "Oh yes, protect me, protect me."
But before that happens, after he injects the liquid, he's like, "Aha, it works. Now raise your right arm."
Yeah.
Guy does it. Raise your left arm. I totally did the opposite in physical. But anyway, and literally, this liquid allows him to take full control of someone.
Yeah, and he says...
Now we cut to that whole thing.
The team busts in, he says, "Oh yeah, protect me. And then he makes the guy get up. He's like, follow.
Yeah,
And the guy follows him.
Oh my goodness. In his weird sing-songy Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter
the team split up. Two of them are going after Clayface, another's going after Tetch, while Dick, or not Dick, I keep saying, I have Robin, so I assume it's
Tim.
Dick. It's Tim Drake, goes and tries to investigate what the heck is happening.
Yep, and then of course, as all of that's happening,
Tetch assesses the building to explode.
Yep, it's going to self-destruct, and he doesn't even tell Clayface.
No, well, yeah, but Mad Hatter does not.
Yeah.
This is when Robin finds the device for the weird control device, and he takes it, and also the building explodes with all the team escaping last minute.
Yep, including Clayface.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait, no.
No,
he does not escape. He gets blown up, and you're like, oh my god.
But it's Clayface, so he
starts
may be
reforming
exploded,
immediately.
but he starts slowly forming
Yep,
back.
and this is when the Hatter, they say, "We lost the Hatter. What are we going to do?" "Well, we have this weird device, so we'll find out." And
we have the weird device.
Yeah, and it's the end of part 2 of the device, of the weird triptych. Part 3
starts off
with McGann and Aqualad.
Yep, in an unknown location. We don't know where exactly it is.
Yep, McGann and Aquaman are waiting for Diana. And we find out that...
Who's late, but she's in her hologram form, obviously.
We see weeks ago is what they were dealing with. Brick and a long-haired prisoner who we do not know were being transported.
Yeah, this long-haired prisoner, now, obviously not exact, kind of reminded me of long-haired, big, bushy, bearded Keanu Reeves. In looks.
Weird. Yeah, well, he's a weird guy.
Yeah, but anyway.
We see the two drivers of the transport are a young black-haired man and an older blonde-haired man.
And they all have the collars on. That's important.
The prisoners have the collars.
Yeah, the prisoners have the collars on. So yes, they're from Bel Rey.
They're driving and they're saying, he's like, the young black-haired kid's like, "Man, I love this gig, don't you?" And the other guy's just like, "Man, you get tired of it." And then, sports report!
Da-da-da-da! We
Javelin!
finally get one! Javelin throwing, because an explosive javelin tips it over.
Blows up the truck, and while it's spinning in the air, we find out that the young black-haired guy is Shazam, and the blonde is the Flash. And they jump out of the truck.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right.
The drivers,
yeah, you're right.
They jump out of the truck, and the sportsman's just like, "You gotta be kidding me."
He's like, are you serious right now? And then, of course, as all of that's happening...
The Flash immediately knocks out Sportsmaster, but sports report number 2, hockey puck.
In literally, like...
Flash is just like, really? A hockey puck? And then it just blasts him and Shazam out. It's hilarious.
And then as all of that happening, Sportsmaster calls for someone else.
Yep, Abracadabra.
Freaking Abracadabra. I can never get over that name.
Yeah, he opens the gate and he takes off the collars of Brick and the mysterious prisoner.
Yep. And then, of course, as that's happening...
Rocket flies in.
Rocket flies in and encases Brick in that interkinetic field.
Yep, and he's like, "Oh, please keep hitting. It's going to make me stronger."
Yeah, because Brick is... He may be somewhat smart in some degrees, but he's not fully smart. So he's just like, "I'm going to break out of this."
Abracadabra's ready to dispel the bubble, but is taken out by Aquaman, Calderam.
Aquaman appears, and of course... as all of this ruckus is happening, Sportsmaster takes advantage of this and runs over to the other prisoner.
The long-haired prisoner, and
they manage
runs
to
around a corner. Barry the Flash runs to follow them, and they lose him around the corner.
Yep.
While Aqualad is tying Brick up and putting the thing on him, he's just like, Brick's like, I have the worst luck. And he's like, trust me, you got lucky with us getting you.
Yep. Like, trust me, you're lucky because we got you.
Yep. And this is when we see the heroes back outside, and we see that they're actually all three different people telling the stories are in the same room.
Yep, and I was gonna say, technically, this is when part 3 ends.
Yeah.
Because now we're gonna get the conclusion where it all ties in.
Yeah, everyone's working together, and this is when they talk about that this whole situation has all been a part of the Branchwater chain of meta-human trafficking.
Oh, yes.
And this is when we see Stag Industries.
Good old
I was just
Stag.
like, oh, if it's Stag, and he looks the exact same as he does in everything with his weird, like, slick hair and his big ass eyebrows and the blonde eye, or like bright blue eyes. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, if Simon Stagg's here, I know who has to come really soon, and that is Metamorpho and Shift. And I'm just like, oh yes.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so
Stag Industries have a whole bunch of subsidiaries. They have acquisitions, coercion, and utilization for dealing with metahumans.
Yep.
We see that the branches are branch acquisition is Sportsmaster and Kadabra stealing meta prisoners.
Yeah, stealing the prisoners.
Coercion, Mad Hatter controlling meta prisoners with his tech.
With that weird like nanotech thing that he injects people with. And
utilization. Utilization is using them to steal other things, which is Cheshire's team used to commit crimes and corporate theft.
Yep.
We see that they release all the prisoners that they had. They sent the adults to Bel Rev, and the minors like Livewire and Mist are being held with another solution. We don't know yet.
Yep, a mysterious place.
Yep, they see that Connor and McGann had Stag arrested, and the device which they stole was from the Reach. We don't know what it was for.
Yeah, there's another drop right there.
But it is called the Metahuman Failsafe.
But what does it do? We don't know.
Who knows? We see Harvey Bullock and Renee Montoya arresting Stag. I was so happy. I was so happy. I loved them.
When I saw those two, I'm like, dude, I may not be a huge fan of Bullock, at least because all I know him from was from the animated series. Yeah. But when I saw this in Montoya, I'm just like, my dudes.
I was so happy, but then they say, we got the device. It's still sparking, FYI, listeners. Pay attention to that.
Yep, it's still sparking.
We finally see that the prisoner, we see the whole story of what happened with the prisoner the entire time was Shade.
Yep.
He was taken while being transferred. He was controlled by the Mad Hatter, and he was on the mission under Cheshire.
Yep, and then apparently, don't they also mention that now that he did his thing, he's not controlled anymore?
Oh no, they say that we don't know everyone. We got everyone except for Cheshire and Shade. There's no way that Shade's gonna release Shade. There's no way that Cheshire is gonna release Shade. And then we see her giving him the control device, him taking it out, disappearing, and popping up inside of Stag's prison.
Yeah, inside of Stag's prison. And this is when I'm like, no, it can't be Shade. But then when he appears in front of Stag, he dons the hat.
Yep, and his cane.
Yeah, and his cane. I'm just like,
oh, that's who that was.
It was so good.
That was such a good reveal because I was like, who is this character? He's really cool. And at the end, it's like that cool character from Justice League Unlimited who was really cool in that.
Right.
I was so happy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, they don't know about that yet. Wonder Woman is pissed that everyone is cooperating against their entire team's knowledge. All 6 groups.
Yep, everyone is doing their own thing.
Yeah, they're still working together, and then Batman says, we need to do this to stop the light, and then she's like, what's the opposite of the light? That's darkness, and Tim's like, oh yeah, sorry, I should have said that.
Well, well, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, we're technically dark, but we're more like anti-dark.
Yeah,
we're dark,
they're
but
anti-villains,
we're not.
but they're...
Dude, look, in this case... I'll talk after this episode ends.
But Batman says we need to do this for deniability, because we cannot expect Superman or anyone else to tell the truth. And Diana's like, I literally don't lie, because A, the rope, and also B, I'm a good person. And then he's just like, well, I assume that you're going to use your diplomatic position as an ambassador to not have to take the stand, and we can't have Clark knowing about this, we can't have any of our team knowing about this, because they'll expose it.
Yep.
So that's deniability, that's why we're doing this, we got to keep doing this, we're saving a lot of people, and that is when the episode ends.
Yep. Now, the whole thing at the end, with Wonder Woman being like, oh, what's the opposite of light?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, in all technicality, if the bad guys are light, then the good guys have to be dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's It's the whole balance, the yin and yang thing.
Yeah, and also they're just evil people calling themselves light. They're not actually light or good.
and it's just and even though Batman, like some not villains, heroes like Batman and stuff, they do go slightly against the law.
Yeah.
But they do it ultimately for good. And for good guys to call themselves dark, that doesn't mean they're actually dark.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Also, I was going to say, the question I wanted to ask you was, what was your favorite team during this arc of episodes? And also your favorite Bat family member of all the people we've seen, all the new people who you may not know and stuff like that.
So, my favorite Bat family member, ever since I found out that she was in this, Oracle.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I just like it because even though she got shot and paralyzed from the waist down, even though, like, she can't be Batgirl anymore. However, she's, like, one of the betters of all of them. She's got the experience.
Yeah.
I remember Barbara as she was Batgirl.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she's, honestly, if they didn't have Oracle, things would be slightly harder.
Oh, yeah, they'd be a much rougher time.
Yeah, she's very important to the team. And, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due, because it's Barbara.
Yeah, I will say that, personally, I absolutely love Cassandra Cain as Batgirl and as Orphan, because she is a huge psycho murderer trained by the League of Assassins. If you're not familiar with this character at all,
not Orphan.
You've never seen the Batgirl with the mouth sewn shut and like no hair out.
I've seen pictures. Did not know anything about.
That's Cassandra Cain. You're also going to see probably a really weird version of her in the Birds of Prey movie coming out because she's in that. But I will say that I'm curious if I want to tell you who she is. Would you mind a minor spoiler about who she's related to?
Go ahead.
She's Lady Shiva's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Have you got to the part in the series with Lady Shiva yet?
I've met her, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's her daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's...
that actually makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, she's a crazy murderer. She's also, like, mute and just uses sign language to communicate and stuff like that. But she's a really cool character.
Now, what was the other question you asked?
Favorite team in this group of teams.
See, this one is slightly difficult.
With the evil teams and the good teams.
The evil teams?
And good.
Dude, evil teams? Do I have to say? Do I actually have to say?
Yeah, of course it's Cheshire's group.
Particularly because of Shade.
Yeah. I loved Livewire's Mist. Livewire's
don't get me wrong,
personality
they're
was
great
funny.
and all, but whereas in Justice League Unlimited, where I know Shade as good but silly, this was like a super, like, completely serious, like, he will mess you up, Shade. I like this version of Shade. So obviously it's that.
Yeah.
Sportsmaster, he's funny, whatever. Who was the other team?
It was
Tetch.
Tetch and Mad Hatter. Yeah.
I like Tetch because I like Mad Hatter and I like his game. Because I'm very... where Matt is very strong with Superman, I'm very strong with Batman. Mm-hmm. But... kind of thing.
Yeah.
Still,
he's not that interesting, I don't think.
Well, compared to all these other ones, dude, even Sportsmaster's more interesting.
Yeah.
But from the good guys...
Hey, what do you mean even Sportsmaster? Sportsmaster's great.
Of the good guys, I'm gonna have to say Tim's team.
Yeah.
Because I never knew Arrowette, spoiler, or Orphan. And, dude, Orphan is just completely... now knowing what you told me makes it even better. But, like, and for me, personally, it's because they're new.
Yeah.
I don't know them very well.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm more interested in their team. And I like how they actually work together like a Bat family.
Literally, they are the Bat family.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
You?
Oh, God. Well, same two teams.
Thing?
Yeah, of course, the Cheshire's Branchwater group is amazing because I love every single one of those members.
Right.
And then the Bat family is great because just like, I don't like Batman in any way, shape, or form. I love the Bat family.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's really it really sucks for me.
You may not like Batman, but you got to appreciate his family.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. I love Dick. I love Barbara. I love Tim. I love Jason. I love everybody of them. They're all great. Stephanie Brown. Freaking Cassandra Cain, they're all great. They're all really cool, and I love their whole dynamics. I just hate Batman, so...
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Of course, but
speaking of,
homies?
I couldn't find a good segue, but I was just going to be like, but speaking of which, let's try to wrap this up a little bit with the final episode.
Episode 9, Home Fires. That's what I was getting at, Home Fires.
Yeah, that's why you said homies. Yeah, I looked at my notes, I'm like... Not where I was going for. But anyway, we start off in
Greater Bialia, which is just
not Bialia,
after.
just Greater Bialia.
It's called that because they took over Karat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But we see the light. It's still a thing, in case you forgot.
Yep, where we see Queen Bee meeting up with Vandal Savage.
And we see some new members not present.
Yep.
She mentioned some new members who are not present here, and I was like, oh.
Correct the mundo.
Savage says that his acquaintance can handle the tasks, whatever that is. And B says that they are good to work their proceedings, their work to proceed.
Yep.
This is when we got to Rimbor, and I said...
Where we see the main man.
I said, yeah, a very classic Superman TAS feeling scene with the main man. Yeah, just going around the planet. Like, the alien he was talking to, all that looked exactly like the exact same Bruce Timm aesthetic of Superman TAS. I was just like, that alien feels like it was a Bruce Timm alien, the main man being just the main man. It felt like straight up at Superman TAS. It was so good.
And for those of you who are new to this, if you don't know who the main man is, if you ever heard of Lobo, that's all I have to finish it. But if you don't, look him up.
He gets a contract bot approaches him and he's just like, what the heck do you want? And
what do you want? It's like, here, take this. Literally beams his forehead and Lobo's just like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take the deal. I'm going to Earth. And bam, intro.
And then after the intro, we get to go to Central City where
Cat Grant and her big forehead talking about the MetaHuman Youth Center. I'm like, well, that's a cool thing. I'd love to see that.
By the way, really? Cat Grant and her big forehead?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's talking about the
MetaHuman Youth Center opening in the Taos. And we see Iris West Allen watching TV, very angry that she can't report because she's watching her bratty kids.
Right. Oh, when she's watching her kids, she's like, wow, you get kids and look what happens.
Yeah, I take care of these kids instead of being a reporter, and Cat gets all the deals. This sucks. Aquaman is announcing at the center that Dr. Dorado Sr. Is the lead.
Eduardo.
Yeah, Dr. Eduardo Dorado Sr. is the lead. We see Eduardo Jr. and Neutron greeting Mist and Livewire.
Yeah, which I thought was awesome.
Oh, I'm like, God, please let this be a thing.
Yeah, right.
I want to see this. I want to see these characters.
And then, of course,
back
Iris's
at the house.
There's a doorbell ring, and Iris's twins speed off.
Yeah, they start speed running. She's like, hey, wait a minute. And then Bart catches him and says, hey, wait a minute, Dad. And she's like, please don't call him that.
Please don't.
And it's very funny.
Yeah, and then, of course,
he says, okay, Grandma. And she's like, don't call me that either. She opens the door, and it's Mirror and Arthur. Is it Arthur or Archer? Archer, yeah, it's Mira, my favorite Red Lantern. And Arthur.
Yeah, and Arthur. And of course, they're like, oh, I'm so glad you could make it. And, of course, Arthur at this time is a toddler.
He's a little kid.
Yeah, he's a kid.
And this is when we see across the street a grungy, weird-looking hobo with a scope is looking into the building.
One has entered, this many more.
Yeah, weird language. He says, 12 more to go.
Yeah, and
I'm a creepy hobo man.
Honestly, like you and me, we've seen this show enough to know what language it is.
Yeah.
But the audience probably don't know.
First, I was just like, is that the same language as Lobo? Is Lobo working with this weirdo?
Oh, no, dude. When I heard it, I'm like, I've heard this before. Yeah. But I didn't make any assumptions.
Yep. In Happy Harbor, Connor is watching G. Gordon Godfrey's show as he's talking.
G. Gordon.
Yeah, this is when he's having an interview with Gretchen Good. Now, this is what I screamed again. It's Gretchen Goodness.
Well, I heard Gretchen Good. I'm like, Matt's told me about someone like this. Let's keep watching. And then they talk about the good goggles.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, Gretchen Goodness, a.k.a. He calls her Granny Goodness.
Exactly. Like, the moment he said a.k.a. Granny Goodness, I'm like, Matt warned me of this. It has finally come.
I'm upset that she's not voiced by Ed Asner still with her deep-ass man's voice that she had in a couple of different entries.
Right.
She has a normal old lady voice, and I was like, oh, come on.
Who is it in this? Do you know?
I wrote down the actress. She's a big actress. Right. I didn't write it down.
Gordon
says, the goggles are bad and it's making kids disengage. And Granny's like, oh, no, goodness, it's great and it's nice.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, yes, that is her thing.
Yeah, she's like, oh, no, it's great. And even Bruce Wayne is helping us. And Gordon's like, Bruce Wayne, what's he have to hide? He sucks too. And all these metahuman delinquents are in one place. It's going to be terrible.
Yep, G. Gordon being G. Gordon.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, this Bruce might have something to hide as well.
And then, of course, after that little bit, we cut to...
McGann walks in and says, Connor, how can you watch this crap? And he's just like, yeah, I know, he's literally the worst, but it's just so fascinating. I'm like,
yeah, right?
This is like...
It's kind of like watching...
Alex Jones?
Yeah, Alex Jones. You hate... Well, a lot of people hate the guy.
He's a horrible maniac.
He's a horrible man. But it's just fascinating.
It's funny to watch.
Guy go crazy.
Yeah.
This
one, Lucas Carr comes up and says, hey, McGann, I got to give you a ride. We find out she's a counselor and he's the principal, finally.
Carr is?
We find out, Lucas Carr is the principal of the school, and we find out that McGann is the student counselor.
That's right. And then, of course, so she has to go to work.
Yeah, and Brion is, of course, plastered to his phone, still looking at Karak news and his brother's news.
I think this is specifically when Gregor
says that Karakis can still stay in continue to immigrate, and they say, "What about metahumans?" He's like, "Oh, well, not yet." And then Brion's just like, "Jeez."
He's like, "Oh." And then we go to
back to the West House.
Yep, back to the West House.
Yeah, Will and Leon are there talking to Lynn Stewart, who's Jefferson's ex. We see Jennifer and Anais. They're both kids, which is very bizarre. They should be teenagers in this timeline. But I'm like, hey, they're there. And she talks about, I knew Jefferson was going to be back into the hero game, of course. And, like, Will's like, yeah, Cheshire is still being evil. And this is when, like, the thing you pointed out with Lynn's like, so you and Artemis are living together? And I was just like, Ben actually called that.
Something I brought up gets brought up here. It's like, so you and Artemis are living together. He's like, yes. So, oh, so does that mean you and her? No.
Yeah. Like, come on, no. And you're just like, are you sure? Come on, you both
two single people.
Yeah, and you're just like, no.
In my opinion, because that was Lynn, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head, as she was doing it, I'm like, Lynn, too soon.
Yeah, it's very weird. His ex is still around, and it's her sister. The door.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, the door rings and it's Karen Bumblebee, who he's pregnant with a baby on the way.
Which that made me happy.
Yeah, her and Mac finally.
Mal finally did something.
Yeah, greeted by Rocket, who's also there. It's so many short-haired black superheroines in one sequence so quick. It's really confusing.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see though. But yeah, Rocket greets her and her son is just like, "There's a baby in there," and I was like, "It's hilarious."
Oh, dude, that was just the little boy. There's a baby in there.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, there is.
The baby is Amistad from Milestone Comics. She had him very early when she was with Icon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very cute. Across the street, creepy scope hobo continues to count. 14 on the site, 4 left.
It's like, oh my goodness. Now we go to Owings
Mills.
Yeah, Owings Mills.
Geoforce, Halo, and Forager are waiting with Artemis and Connor for Jason Black Lightning.
Yep.
They arrive and Forager is just like, hey, Forager is like, Forager is Forager. He means Forager.
Forager. I mean Forager, because it was...
Violet was just like, I'm Halo, Violet. I'm Violet, go be Violet. Right. Just like, yeah, Forager's the same thing as that.
And of course, Geoforce is like, hello, you know me, Brion. It's like, no. Let Forager show you how it's done.
Yeah, Jace calls Violet Gabrielle and she says, no, that's not who I am. Don't call me that.
Yeah.
Jace apologizes for giving him metahuman powers and being used by Bedlam.
And I think Brion, like, kind of gets a little...
He's just like, yeah,
he's like, right. I realize it's not your fault specifically.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's when he's sniped by a sniper and starts firing on the team.
Yep. And then it's like, what are you... And
What's
Jason's
going
like,
on?
what are you doing?
And Jefferson's just like, oh, come on, let's get out of here, Jason.
Let's let them take care of this.
And this is when Artemis and Connor leave, and, like, Forager's like, oh, it's a test. And as we see, it's Dick shooting. He stands up and he's like, it's me. He starts shooting at them and they try to dodge.
And they all get shot.
No, they don't all. Only Geoforce gets shot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Only
Halo and Forager are actually good with their powers and don't get hurt. Jace is very angry at her and Geoforce are really, really pissed at Dick. It's really funny.
Well, Jefferson's not.
No, Jefferson. Jace and Geoforce.
Oh, Geoforce. Pissed. Well, yeah, but before that, Geoforce doesn't get up immediately.
Yeah, we see Halo and Forager get top marks for what they did.
And then Geoforce didn't. But
you failed everything.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Jason's like, how is Geoforce still alive? Jefferson's like, rubber bullets?
Yeah, come on. This is when we see, at the play date of everyone, Tornado arrives with a young girl. I didn't write down who this was because I had no idea.
Her name, by the way, Red Tornado, for those of you who don't know, is now in a human body named John Smith.
Yeah.
And he arrives with Traya. It's Traya.
I'm not sure who that is. I didn't look it up.
Neither do I. I had to look that up.
Yep, and this is when we see that Tornado Will is there, and he's like, oh, thankfully, another dad. And he just like, they're like, excuse me, all the women in the room. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. Sorry about that.
It's fine. I mean, I can understand that. And then, of course,
this is when we
across...
see the Scope Hobo.
Hey, you mean the Scopo?
Yeah, the Scopo just like, everyone's here.
More left.
Yeah. No, he says everyone's here. And then he opens a glowing box.
Oh, yeah,
and this is when we cut back to the mill. Geoforce is angry. He says, well, this is stupid sudden training. This doesn't prove anything. He says, well...
No. The hobo, there's 2 left.
No, I thought he says that
there's 2 more that come in.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
anyway,
box at that point.
But then we go back to Owen Mills where, Geoforce is like, how did I fail, blah, blah, and all that stuff. And then, Nightwing's like, look. Remember Infinity Island?
Yeah.
Remember how you guys messed up there?
Yeah,
Do I need to explain this more?
And, like, you need to prepare for surprise attacks. Bam! Lobo, the main man lands.
Yep, the main man appears.
He says, I'm here to kill that little bug. And they're just like, what's going on? The team readies for battle.
Yep.
And it's really good. No one is tough enough to stop the main man.
Yeah, it's the main man. Nobody can stop him. And they all try to.
Yeah, Jace calls the group like, you got to save my kids, Jefferson. And he's just like, okay. And,
and he's like, yeah, wait, no. She's like, you have to save our kids. And she's like,
no, she says her kids.
No,
kids. She's my kids.
That's right, because I thought he was like, wait, our kids?
No.
Like, wait,
she says
kids?
my kids, yeah.
Yeah, all right. And then, of course, as all of this is happening, they try to subdue Lobo by, like, Geoforce putting him in lava.
Yeah, they try all this different stuff. Sphere even tries, but Lobo's bike starts fighting off Sphere, the super cycle. It's very funny.
Oh, yeah. And of course, everyone's like, "Who sent you, Lobo?" And Lobo's not gonna say.
Yeah, of course not. And this is when the thing I said earlier. I wanted to mention Halo gets the Wolverine / Superman in a group treatment and is killed once again.
Yep.
Lobo says, "Hey man, I won't tell who hired me." And this is when we cut to back. You're right. This is when we cut back to the group.
And
Lois and John.
Yep, Lois and Jonathan.
And this is when Scope Hobo reveals himself to be Ocean Master Orm.
I mean, okay. Look. I was sorry. I'll go with this afterwards. But he's like, everyone's here. Opens the box and you find out it's Orm.
Yeah, he opens the box and we see a big trident. Do we see the trident? And then this is when Lady Shiva steps from the shadows.
Yep. So
very regular, ordinary-looking black-haired woman.
Like, oh wow!
Like wow, Orm, you actually did it. He explains like, yeah, this is the plan. This is the Lights plan. We find out, which is to deal a blow to the League so bad that they'll never recover. This is their nuclear option. He knew about this because he was a member of the Light Line in the first season.
But Lady Shiva points out,
that they're never supposed to do this.
Yeah, you're right. It is. But it's known as a nuclear option.
Yeah, it's only for mutually assured destruction. And Orm says, I was a prisoner for 6 years. I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
And then he proceeds to get killed.
Yep, Lady Shiva cuts off his head. I was just like, whoa.
Sorry, I have a tangent to go on, but not yet.
We see like a montage of like dead Orm, the kids in the house playing, and then like back to the house being full of equipment, back to the kids playing, back to the house being completely empty.
It's gone.
The League of Shadows took care of it, and then the scene goes on, and it's just a very like ominous, like, whoa, geez, that was crazy.
Yep. And then of course we go back to Owing's mill, where Geoforce is using his power, and no one stopping the main man.
Yeah, no, Lobo they keep hurting Lobo, but he keeps just healing him from it, and there's like, come on, you guys can't stop me.
Lobo's good.
You keezy bastages. He says keezy femme and bastages.
Lobo also notices, even though he killed Halo, Halo revives herself, and he's just like, ooh, I'm gonna have to make this permanent.
Yeah.
In which case,
Halo uses her clones to confuse people, and this is when someone manages to cut off Lobo's thumb.
Yep, someone cuts off Lobo's thumb, which, by the way, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Lobo's thumb is cut off. Nobody damages Lobo.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, in the previous things, listeners, Lobo doesn't really get hurt.
Yeah, he's almost approximately Kryptonian level strength.
But now his thumb is cut off. Anyway, sorry.
She used her yellow beams to cut his finger.
Oh,
that's what happened.
It was.
She made copies of herself and then died.
As Lobo's, like, extremely mad about this.
You guys are done.
Forager, in a ball, starts rolling towards Lobo. Lobo stops it.
Yep.
Punches it through.
Yeah.
You see like goop and stuff like that. He's just like, and when he punches it, it's just lays still.
Yeah.
He's just like, all right.
No, he like smashes it like a big pile.
Dude, he like beats the crap out of it. He's like, yeah, did it. I'm done.
Yeah, handled.
Okay, come on.
He can't whistle because his thumb's off. It's really funny. See, he's like, okay.
Just get over here. And then they leave, and they're all like, Forager's dead.
No, Forager.
And then you see this weird looking naked bug guy up here.
Yeah, we stayed there morning when I shellless. I said, deliciously crab meat looking Forager.
Deliciously crab meat looking. Okay. You can say that. But anyway, he's like, Forager's still alive. But
he's
now,
all Gucci.
Yeah, I'm all Gucci. And Halo's like, sorry, you're a little Gucci.
Yeah, I can't give you a hug.
And Brios is like, I don't care how Gucci hug. And like, he's actually
covered
like,
in slime.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
It's like, yeah, I just shed my exoskin.
Yeah,
because I am a bug. But
Artemis is like, welcome to the Fake Your Own Death Club. It's very exclusive, and I'm the member.
Right. And Forager's like, yes, but now Forager understands what it means to be naked.
And this is when we cut, this is the end of their story, we cut to the light, where Shiva says that she has handled Orm. Queen Bee says Lobo didn't kill the bug, which I'm like, how'd they know already? Right. But he did his job, and he proved that Black Lightning, Dick, and Superboy were there at Bedlam when it was taken down.
Yep.
Also, we see the Ultra Humanite can talk now.
Yes. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, let's tell them about the other members. We have Queen Bee, we have Vandal, we have Lady Shiva, which those are the ones we do.
She's the new enforcer after Sportsmaster.
Correct.
We see
now we have Lex Luthor and Clarion. They're back. Deathstroke is back as well. We also see Ultra Humanite as Matt said, and we see our final member
the best member.
Gretchen Goodness.
Granny Goodness.
Yeah, okay. Well, either way, it's Granny Goodness, but Gretchen Good. Yeah. You know, either way, tomato, potato.
Also, they give a hint that they know that Dick is Nightwing, which is pretty funny. But that's where the episode ends.
Well, hold on. Because Granny Goodness has to say her line, where they can proceed with their plans to take care of these naughty children.
Yeah!
Then
Granny
the episode ends.
Granny Goodness!
I only remember her a little bit from...
How do you not remember Granny Goodness?
From Justice League.
You've seen Superman TAS, right?
It's been a while.
Her like deep-ass Ed Asner voice?
Right, but
she's great.
All I know is that I don't remember her powers very well.
She's just strong, I think.
I just want to see how they use her.
You know what I'm hyped for, because I saw it in the episode images. The female Furies, including Big Barda, who's like my true favorite my favorite new god.
Oh yeah,
she's the best.
Now, okay, tangent time. Mm-hmm. Season 1. Yeah. Orm had the double thing going because he was a big friend of his.
He was not. We didn't know who he was at the time, but Ocean Master was in the light. Well, he was still.
Hold on. Yeah. Because we know Orm is Ocean Master. Yeah. Yeah. So this is just me on my tangent. He was doing the double face thing because in the one episode he was like, "Hey, we're doing science on this thing," but then you find out later on he's part of the light. Yeah. Cut to the second season. The next time you hear any mention of him, he's not a part of it anymore.
No. What? Honestly, with the context clues, I was able to deduce what happened. In that first episode, we see him when Calder goes home. He's still perfectly cool with Aquaman. He's like, he's my brother. Sure, he took my throne, but it's fine. We're friends. That was it. He gave maybe a little bit of a upset look when they revealed that Mira and Arthur were getting married or something like that, and he gave him No,
it was kind of pregnancy.
The pregnancy. You give a little bit of a grimace, but then season 2 starts. Cal lost Tula, Aquagirl, on a mission. We don't know how that happened. We see her again. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen the Beast Boy episode.
Not yet.
Okay, well, we kind of get another hint of what may have happened, but she died on a mission making Cal become evil. No mention of Ocean Master in season 2. And then in season 3, he's been in prison for 6 years. I assume that he's going to have killed Tula, made Aqualad go bad, kicked out of the light for killing her for causing whatever trouble he causes, and then now he's out and he's getting revenge.
Right.
I assume that's what happened. That's I'm deducing from background context clues.
You know what? Never mind. Now that you've explained that to me,
I thought you were pissed that what's it took out Atlantean so easily, but it's Lady Shiva, the deadliest assassin in the League of Shadows.
Dude, it's Lady Shiva. Yeah. If there's one thing I know about her, which is literally one of the two things I know about her, is that she is not to be messed with.
Yeah, she's literally top level.
Yeah.
League of Shadows.
I was not upset about that.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, I assume that the Orm story has been 100% in the background, which I really like. It's fun to just deduce the facts of what happened with that. But yeah, that was also the whole the nuclear option plot of this episode. Whoa.
Yeah,
that
seriously.
was absolutely insane because I'm like that is the heavy. They could not have done that when it was back on Cartoon Network at all. I don't think.
No,
they could have possibly got away with that.
With everything that you see, even the graphic ways that Halo dies, specifically, yeah, this is definitely not good.
Even hinting at that play, they would never have gotten away with it.
Even on Adult Swim, well, no, they
probably would have, yeah. But
because let's be honest, Metalocalypse was on
Adult
Swim, so they could.
But that was a really, really heavy thing of killing all the superheroes' spouses and babies. It's whoa.
Yeah, it's okay.
And also,
wow.
And also knowing that is the Light's plan, just in case. It's just
that is their fail safe.
Yeah.
If there's no other thing, they have to turn 3 keys at the same time, hit the button. That's their plan?
Yeah. Woo. And I'm also like, of course, the second time I watched the episodes, I was going through my head, I was like, okay, realistically, who would potentially be fine if something were to happen? John Kent, potentially, could be fine. He's just a baby, but he probably has some kind of Kryptonian abilities. Rocket would probably be fine.
Oh, definitely.
Bumblebee, possibly, if she can still string with the baby, I'm sure she'll be fine.
Probably.
Probably Amistad because of whatever weird DNA that he has from her. It's like, and also the Flash, the two, Wally.
The speedsters?
Not Wally. Bart could possibly get a couple people out.
That's right, because Leon
is human.
Leon is fully human.
Yeah.
Because both of her parents were just really good at what they did. Yeah, you're right. And Red Tornado's kid.
Yeah, I gotta look up who that is. But yeah, Red Tornado probably would have been 100% fine from even.
But he can't reproduce.
Well, he could have built her, or she could be a cyborg or some kind of weird thing, or he could have just genetically made himself able to do that. We don't know what the actual. Yeah,
fair.
There's a lot of weird things like DC's weird. Who knows what would have happened?
But anyway,
that whole plot of an option, just the implications of it were absolutely insane.
Oh my goodness!
It was so good.
And now, because I should have seen it coming with the good goggles and who they were connected to. Mm-hmm. Now, just like the Reach drink. Now I need to know what exactly is the plan. Like, what does this AR virtual reality goggles have to do with anything?
Well, I would say I watched a little bit ahead because we were going to record double episodes.
I've watched. I've watched like the 2 episodes after this one.
Okay,
because I know for this specific one we did 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like halfway through the second part of that of what we're supposed to watch.
Yeah.
So,
but this batch, I'm loving the season so goddamn much. It's so good,
dude. This is literally my favorite season.
It's amazing.
Oh my god! Honestly, if I have to choose like my favorite seasons, it's honestly 3, 2, and 1 in that order.
Oh yeah, exactly. 2 is great. This season's shaping up to be insane. I can't wait for 4 in the future. But I can't wait for the rest of this one. I can't wait for the rest of this season even. But yeah, it's great. We're looking forward to the next 2 weeks from now with the next batch of these episodes. Plugs.
Well, at the moment of this recording,
yeah.
I still have no plugs whatsoever. Been dealing with some things and also working on that secret project.
Of course.
However, I know you definitely now have
a lot of plugs. Of course. I have Twitter, Matthew Lewis P, Patreon, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, YouTube, Matthew Lewis Podcasts, The Forgotten Minotaur King, going strong. That's all me, and I guess we're wrapping up this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Young Justice is fantastic. We got a party to get to.
Yeah. Seriously, I know I say this like almost every episode, but if you haven't seen this and this is like the first time, like this is for some reason your gateway to Action Toon Bros.
Yeah.
Either start at the beginning of Young Justice, our Young Justice episodes, or just watch the shows yourself because they are definitely amazing. Just be careful with season 3. Like if this is your first episode. Season 3 is a lot darker, and there's a lot more they can get away with because this is the one that came out for the DC streaming app.
Yeah.
So they can get away with a lot more.
Oof, so
that's all the warnings I'm going to give. The 3rd season is definitely not necessarily for younger audiences.
Of course. All right, well.
So anyway, yeah. So
we're going to keep it sleazy
and
sign off.